Hello everyone and welcome back to Cupid, a visual novel. Today we're going to get back into it. I haven't really figured out what the love aspect is because it's Cupid and all, so it's supposed to be about love, right? Because it's February, it's love month, even though Valentine's Day is over, but that doesn't matter because we're still going to play this full game. So let's get started. So let's starterly do. I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. There's no need to explain, it's only human nature. Wait, did I just start? Okay, hold on a second, sorry. I'm an idiot. For some reason, when you press start, I think they would continue from where you left off. But no. Today we're gonna do chapter 2, not the whole entire game again. It's funny, is it not? Rosa. They always leave you. Such is the way of the world. The more you love, the more you lose. Oh, it seems like they'll stay forever, but they never do. I'm the only one who stays, my lovely Rose. My love is the only love you need. You were always so weak. Always so loving to people who did not deserve it. I told you to get rid of her, didn't I? I told you to be wary. I knew it from the start, my Rose. She was nothing but selfish. She led you astray. She was nothing but selfish. Maybe if I put all the blame on her, it takes the blame off of... I don't know. Let's just say she led you astray. Catherine was a curse. She drove you to a love I warned you about. I knew she would just cause you pain. I'm glad she is dead. I'm glad you are back to me. Oh boy. I was so worried about you, darling. She almost led you astray. Away from me. Trust in Mother, darling. I am just glad to have you back to myself. I feel like picking all the nice options now is further manipulating her into being in love with me or whatever. Loving her mother, which she shouldn't be doing because her mother sucks, but okay. Your silence bothers me, child. She was important to me, Mother. I loved her. Mother only laughed as Rosa screamed out her pain. Rosa felt arms shake her awake. Rosa! She opened her eyes and was hit by a strange sadness that crushed her. She was dazed for a moment. Why was she so sad? And then she remembered. Her best friend was gone. She was gone. Rosa. Wait. What the hell? Did that actually happen? Wait, whoa. I feel like I'm further into the story than I'm supposed to be. Am I really supposed to be here? Is this chapter 2? Is this really chapter 2? Did she literally kill herself? What the hell, man? How are you feeling? Gillamy sat by her bed, a hand in hers. Rosa didn't realize she had been holding onto it tightly in her fitful sleep. She broke up from his grasp and clutched her knees. Rosa! She remained silent. I came to check on you. You went into shock and lost all consciousness. I can only imagine. Oh, okay, so maybe the vision got her into her catatonic state, and he took her in, but Rose is not, the friend is not actually dead yet, or hopefully will never die, because we don't want her to die. I can only imagine how hard it must have been for you to see her. What? Like that? What? She did die. What the hell? His words echoed in her brain. Yet she did not register that much to their meaning. Rosa still refused to speak, and Gillermead fidgeted with his gloves. The way will take place as soon as possible. The wake, Rosa. I just wanted to let you know that she is being taken care of. He's hiding something. There is a slight triumph in Mother's voice. Hold on a second. I don't get it. He wants to get rid of her body as soon as possible. Don't you see it, child? Tell me you're not falling for this. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I did press chapter 2. This is chapter 2, right? This is chapter 2. I'm not in the end already. There's no way. What the frippin' hold on, if I save it, it still says chapter 2. There's... What? What? They did that huge ass jump? You didn't even get to go into the other guy's home yet? They just jumped to her killing herself? How old are we? What the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? I don't know, man. Rosa was tired. Mother always, the cynic, would say such things. She hated anyone who came in close to Rosa's heart. Rosa didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to deal with anything right now. All she wanted was to wallow in her own loneliness, to curl up inside the hole Catherine left behind and sleep. My child, tell me you see. Remember the fear in Catherine's eyes on her last day. Look how unperturbed he is by Catherine's death. I'm gonna go with straight up facts, and I'm gonna say straight up facts instead of questions. Wait. Yeah. Straight up facts, not questions. There is an absence of feeling in him, don't you see? It goes beyond the usual apathy of loneliness. Did he really ever love Catherine? How well do you know him, child? I've known him for as long as I knew Catherine, Mother. He is a close friend. I didn't ask how long you've known him, but how well. Beyond the mask that he displays in public view, do you even know his past? Do you even know of his ambitions or secrets? He was always a private man, Mother. At least, think back, child. Isn't it curious how all his past relationships ended in disaster? Everything he touches crumbles. That is not enough to accuse him of anything. You idiot! He is different. He does not belong. You have not felt it too, haven't you? You have felt it too, I think. Rosa doesn't look at Gildermead with new eyes. Looked at, Guildmead. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. With new eyes now. A hint of doubt slithered out from beneath her sadness. Rosa wanted something to blame. A cast for all her regrets. Guildermead seemed like the perfect candidate, didn't he? Yes, you're finally seeing it. Open your eyes, child. It makes sense. Guildermead and Catherine's relationship began to pewter off into the coldness right before she died. Her mental instability only served to compound the fracture in their relationship. Perhaps Guildermead was tired of her and had to kill her off for convenience? Or perhaps Catherine, in her psychotic state, killed herself to spite him. Rosa stared at the man beside her. Wait, Catherine was a child. A freaking child when we met her. And he was still a grown man when we met him. So they had a relationship? A love relationship? Little weird, if you don't mind me saying, but that's a little bit strange to me. That's a little strange. I mean, I know it's supposed to be centered around a time that's like back then, I suppose. And people did that back then. But it's still weird to me, man. Still a bit strange. Does he look older? He doesn't look older. Okay, that's the other thing. He looks the same. Maybe they didn't have a character trait, or maybe that was on purpose, but he doesn't look older. Am I older? Do I look older? Am I taller? What's up with me? Rosa stared at the man beside her. He is not to be trusted, child. He is a demon. Gildermead, returned Rosa's angry stare with a resolute one. I know you must hate me, Rosa. I am aware that I only aggravate Catherine's condition with my presence. I know the feeling when I am not wanted. He stood up, a hard yet kind look on his face. Just remember that I will always be here for you. As much as I was there for Catherine, even though she spat me out. Rosa bit her lip. How dare you speak ill of the dead? When Catherine had refused to eat, it had been Gildermead who fed her and attended to her. Despite Catherine's hurling abuse at him, he had tried to care for the sick woman himself. Lies, all lies, keeping up appearances. Then what is it that he had done, Mother? Catherine committed suicide. It was not by his hand that she died. Are you just gonna leave it at that? Look at his face and tell me you trust him wholeheartedly. Rosa tried to search for the answer in Gildermead's eyes, but as always, his face betrayed only a few emotions. I don't know. Mother was screaming now. He killed her! I'm sure he did! And you're letting him get away with it. Please, my head hurts. And you say you loved her. You never loved her, you selfish child. I always known you were this selfish. You're just like your father. So stop. You throw people away. Didn't you throw me away when I inconvenienced you? Admit it. You were secretly relieved I died. Yeah. No, stop it. Actually, I'm kinda secretly relieved this person died too. But now she's in her head, and we can't get away, so maybe that's also a problem. That's a big problem. No, stop it. She screamed back at that last voice. Her mouth quivered. Gildermead stared at Rosa in shock. The outburst had accidentally came out loud. It pulled a plug that kept the tears from pouring out. Now her vision clouded, and she blinked them away again and again. She was not sobbing. She did not even realize her face was wet. Gildermead and Rose stared at each other, both kindred in their sorrow. He knelt down by Rosa's bed and wiped her tears with his hand. He did not say anything while doing this, and Rosa stared blankly ahead. It almost stunned her how many tears a person could carry. I loved her too, Rosa. He said it after a while. I know what you're feeling. If she didn't know if it was her own or if it was her mother's anger was somehow influencing her, but her chest heaved. She balled up her fists so tightly that her fingernails hurt. Shut up. She spat, and the man recoiled at the uncharacteristic bitterness of her words. Catherine was afraid of you in her last days. You did something to her. I know it. She could feel Mother inside her head building up her anger. He has to be punished. You are to blame. He has to atone. I know you are guilty. He must be punished. Gildermead stared at her dumbfounded for a few seconds, but the man didn't try to appease her. He only stepped closer to Rosa, wrapping his arms around the hysterical girl. Let go of me! I hate you! Let go of me! Oh, I love this image. That poor Rosa. That poor girl. But Gildermead didn't. If you need something to hate, then I'll accept your hate. But you must accept my comfort, too. I need you too right now, Rosa. You're the only one who loved her as much as I did. Gildermead's words brought back Catherine in Rose's mind. Almost at once, the anger was replaced with sadness so heavy she couldn't breathe. Why was she so angry again? She was only focusing on anger instead of pain. It was easier. The real tears came, all for the loss of the girl they both loved. She is a bit older, it looks like. She looks more teen, you know? Tomorrow was not going to come, and less disheveled, too. There was only right now the loss and the two friends mourning a loved one. Rosa cried until she wouldn't be able to stop, and Gildermead quietly held her. Slowly, her weeping began to subside into sobs, and only then did he speak again. Stay in the chateau, Rosa. I know you are thinking of leaving now that Catherine is gone, but I can't let you wander the streets again. I will take care of you. It's what Catherine would have wanted. Like a spell being broken, these words brought back her anger. How could you possibly know what Catherine wants? She pushed his arms away from her. She's dead! Gildermead's mouth pursed? I'm sorry. No. And he stepped away. I want you to go. Please leave me. Gildermead sighed and closed his eyes. I understand. He turned on his heels and left without another word. People deal with guilt in all different types of ways. Guilt and loss in all different types of ways, so. These are two extreme opposites of how to deal with guilt. Usually, either you cry it a lot, or you hold all your emotions, and basically, it's interesting. But it's a mixture of genetics, and it depends on who dies near you, and when they die, and what part of their life they died in, and, it's very complicated. I'm sure I didn't need to explain that, but it is interesting to me, looking at the psychological mentality of people who have lost others. He turned on his heels and left without another word. Hours seemed like minutes to her. She would fall asleep and awaken in an unfit intervals so often that she had lost the exact time. Awake, she would stare at the part of the wall with no coherent thoughts forming in her mind. One would think morning should be spent in a depressive frenzy. No. All the reasons to grieve are yours, after all. She could wait now, if she wanted to. She could pull on her hair, curse the skies. She could reminisce the past, admire the frailty of human lives. Unfortunately, it was something less poetic. Pain was simple, it was clean. It was a well-sharpened knife that sliced through her heart in one stroke. No blood, no mess, empty. Well, if you put a knife through your heart, I'm thinking there'd be some blood coming out of that, but okay. Well, we'll just go with this. And when tears were spent, there was just a hole where your heart had been. The hurt called out to you. It lingered. But since there was nothing there anymore, you couldn't find where the pain ended and you began. Rosa slept all day. The sun had gone down twice before she shifted from her bed. She stood up, slowly, deliberately, with a purpose. My child, you know I hurt when you hurt. Already a surge of power flowed within her, fueled by her grief. The power filled her up, and there was so much emptiness inside that the energy seemed to saturate her whole body. Purpose was always a balm for grief. Relief? What? Grief. Mother, tell me what to do. Justice, retribution. Retribution, I suppose. Start with his guilt, child. Uncover his lies. Crush his mask. If I say justice, she's gonna be like, kill him, or something. I don't freaking know. He must pay for everything he has done. Ooh, empowerment. And, wow, she's pretty. Okay. Rosa didn't speak, but she started to form the words in her mind, feeling them in her bones, giving life to every thought. She took a small knife and carved a symbol on her floor. It didn't mean much. It didn't need much. A guilt spell. It didn't aim to punish. It only aimed to inform. I'm glad I picked this option. She needed to know how much guilt that man carried and what's the source of the guilt. If the guilt was concrete and came from a direct action, then she would know Gildermead did something to Catherine. Yeah, facts before punishment, thank you. Guilty until proven innocent, thank you. It had been a while since she had used her magic. It used to be the only way she could protect herself from the world. Mother had taught her, and now Mother guided her as she cast her spell. She needed a possession of the man. Rosa opted for his voice, still fresh from memory. She focused on the last conversation they shared. If you need something to hate, I will take care of you. I need you. His words made Rosa feel distressed and confused. Always it was this way with him. The feeling wasn't foreign. It had been there for years. I will always be here for you. Rosa felt a violent force upturn her stomach. It was a horrid lurch just before vomiting. You failed. The spell collapsed in her brain. Focus, idiot child, or you'll lose your chance. Rosa tried again. This time she focused on Gildermead's eyes. Cold. Little like flints of steel. Dark and fathomless. No grief except perhaps for the situation. No Catherine. Also, I didn't know we were dealing with a witch. That just occurred to me. Is she a witch or something? That's interesting. No pain of loss. This doesn't matter to her. This didn't matter to her. Their relationship was dying anyway. Where was his guilt? Rosa dug deeper. She increased the chanting on her lips. No torment. No uncertainty. No guilt. Did the spell fail again? She searched once more and found nothing. Or perhaps it's delusions. A delusional witch because nothing magical really is happening. Perhaps she believes something magical is happening. She's using the last conversation to twist his words and make it so she can rationalize to herself that it is his fault. It's interesting. I don't know what it is, but that's my opinion on this. There was no guilt in Gildermead's eyes. How could she could stop the spell now, knowing that he was innocent. If the spell had worked, then Gildermead was blameless. But this absence was most distressing. Rosa desperately pushed her mind further, almost wishing there were traces beyond her reach. Guilt should be present in any loss, no matter how little. Don't we blame ourselves for our own loss? Oh, maybe not. I mean, not always. It really depends on the situation and who was there for who and all this kind of stuff. And given the way we saw her kill herself, basically, perhaps there is supposed to be some amount of guilt there. It's very interesting. Don't we blame ourselves for our own loss? Don't we hate ourselves and punish ourselves even if it wasn't our fault? not healthy, but yeah, sometimes. Well, most of the time, actually. It didn't have to be real, but we need guilt to feel pain. But Gildermean did not have a slither of guilt. The vicious pain took a hold of her again, squeezing her stomach with murderous intent. The pain was so great Rosa wasn't sure if the spell had failed or succeeded. Something is wrong. Before Rosa could— I don't like these noises, by the way. Before Rosa could agree with Mother, she felt a sharp pain in her throat. Rosa clutched her neck, scraping, scratching. A sharp, jagged lump was blocking her breathing. She could feel its edges crawl into her windpipe, tearing the soft walls as it moves about. The pain did not stop. Rosa fell to her knees and gagged. Oh God, did I kill her? Huge drips of blood spotted spit ran down her chin. She thrashed about like a woman being strangled. Mother remained calm, unaffected by Rosa's distress. Rosa was about to expel whatever it was. Tears ran down her face as horrible acidic taste coated her throat. Finally, she opened her mouth and forced the vile thing out. She kept her eyes shut, afraid to look at whatever had come out of her. But the choking feeling gripped her, and she puked again. The liquid dripping down her mouth thickened and congealed. It wasn't spit anymore, but blood. It gathered around her knees in a growing pool. Rosa panted. Every breath was laced with pain. But the gruesome effect had finally stopped. She wiped the sweat on her forehead. Something on the floor reflected light. She struggled to comprehend what was in front of her. She reached out with her hand, and the prick of something sharp made her recoil. She tried again, this time seeing more clearly. Did I skip past some texts? I'm sorry, I don't know. Rosa picked them up with a shaking hand. Needles. Ooh. Oh, that's not good. Why would people be throwing up needles? That's weird. In her palms were a handful of long metal needles. Needles. She had regurgitated them along with the jagged pieces of flesh. Rosa examined them with a horrified kind of curiosity. She stuck one in her thumb and drew more blood. Why? They were real. They had materialized in her throat while casting the spell on Gildermean. Rosa wiped her mouth. There was something wrong with him. Something potent and dark. Or could it be that she had merely botched the spell horribly? She had pushed her limits this time. She had gone too far. But still, a tugging concern was forming. It was as real as the metal needles in her hand. Rosa tried to stand up on her feet, but was exhausted. Her knees failed her, and she crumpled to the floor like a rag. I knew it. We must get to the bottom of this. Are you quite all right, my darling? Now you see it too. There's a sinister force at work. Get up. We have a lot to do. We must find out what he is and stop him. Rosa stared at the needles in her hand. Who are you really, Gildermead? Who are you, Gildermead? Chapter 3 already? Dang, that was quick. But I said I was going to do this chapter by chapter. Wow. Okay. We can cast spells now. Great. Love it. We love some spells. We love some witchcraftery. I guess I should have saved that so I could pick different options, but you know what? It's already gone, so I don't know why I complain. I don't know if I'm going to get to all the endings with this, but we're going to see. It depends on what ending I get. If I get like a bad ending, I want to go back and get a better ending. But I don't know. It's a pretty long game, so I don't think I'm gonna go through every single little thing. Also, I would like you guys, if you want to go play this game for yourself and figure out what other endings there is to find if I don't find these endings. I used to be a completionist, but now I just feel like, you know, I just want to roll with this game and not stress out about completing everything, you know? I like the game so far, though, and it took an interesting turn. I highly did not expect for Catherine to be actually dead. I thought it was a vision from the way it was drawn, but it's not. It's absolutely real, and we're in this now. And we'll have to figure out what's up with Gildermead now, I guess. Well, if you really think about it, he was always kind of the main focus already. I mean, he's all up in this art. Hold on. He's all up in this main menu, you know? So I'm guessing there's a lot of things that we're gonna have to uncover about him. And then that's why they did the big jump cut, because, like, you know, it would be a lot to go through, like, going into the house and, like, you know, getting established as being a part of their family, and, like, so, because that's not really the main focus of the story. The main focus is figuring out what's up with Gildermead and Catherine and what really happened. So, that's where the plot went, I guess. That's what's happening right now. I'm very interested still in knowing more about the magical powers that we possess, and more about Gildermead, of course, and seeing what really happened, you know? It's interesting, and I like it. I hope you guys do too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you are enjoying this series so far, and if you have any suggestions for games I should play, please leave them in the comments below, because I read every single comment, and I take into account almost every single suggestion, especially if the suggestions are free games. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.